𝗕𝗗LD price update. Let's get into it. So Chris, today we are going to be taking a cheeky look at Elrond and specifically the 𝗕𝗗LD token, or coin I should say. We're going to be taking a look at the price action with 𝗕𝗗LD and see where things are going. It has recently had a breakout to a new all-time high and a slight retracement. Should we be worried? Let's get into the 1 day, 4 hour and 1 hour charts to see exactly what's going on. If you find this video useful and informative, do go ahead and hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you would like to stay up to date with all those hidden gems and new cryptocurrencies that we talk about here at Cheeky Crypto, then do consider subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you'll be kept up to date with absolutely everything we do here at Cheeky Crypto. It's free and you'll stay well informed. So why not? Chris, anything else you would like to add before we jump on down to the desktop and start reviewing exactly what's going on here with Elrond?
No, let's get straight into it, Nick.
Fantastic. Fantastic. So here we are on the 𝗕𝗗LD chart. This is the 𝗕𝗗LD token to the USDT. This is the daily chart and Binance is the data source. Now, before we get into the charts, worth probably just pointing out that Romanian university plans to actually accept crypto payments for admission fees. And the cryptocurrency I first thought that they were going to be using would have been BTC, but it turns out actually it's Elrond's 𝗕𝗗LD. So fantastic news there. We're going to probably come across this a few times with various different places, but basically you'll be able to pay your transaction fee, your I guess admission fees with the university via 𝗕𝗗LD, which is fantastic news. It's going to be huge moving, the 𝗕𝗗LD token further forward. So really good to see something like that. Right, let's jump on back into the charts. Okay, so we have got a Fibonacci retracement tool on here, and this comes from the low level of the 22nd of January through to that high level that was achieved on the 9th of February. In that run, which lasted 20 days, we saw a 525% rally to the upside. Obviously, after a rally that significant in such a short space of time, you are to expect a nice healthy correction, which is what we saw. With 𝗕𝗗LD here, we saw this thing come down to the 702, bounced from there briefly, came down to the 618, bounced from there, and fell all the way down to the 50 and the 382 with a slight blip down here in the red zone, but found support on that 50 moving average. And that was because Bitcoin had a nice healthy correction. It pulled everything with it. And ultimately, yeah, this one came right the way down here into that kind of red warning zone, right? All the way down here. Nobody likes to be down here, but we did find good support on that 50 moving average, which was also key later on. That brought us right back up again in a sharp kind of flash sale, right back up into the 50% zone. We come back down into the 382, back to the 50, back to the 618, and then a slight pullback down again into that 50% zone, where the 50 moving average was acting as good support. We then followed this all the way up, and basically our sideways trading, our corrective state, actually lasted for about 50 days. Okay, and then it was about here, which was the 1st of April, we started to see a real good rally for the Elrond and the 𝗕𝗗LD coin. Now, what's really interesting about this is how fast this has been going. So far, if I grab my date range, we'll have a look. It's been 12 days so far, and we broke that all-time high. Okay, so we're still watching how that goes, but done incredibly well so far. I'll leave that down here for now. So yeah, we basically from here, we broke that all-time high on the 11th of April, and yesterday, well, that was yesterday, and obviously today we're pulling back down a little bit, but what's really interesting about here is we have got our blue line on our RSI. That comes in at 96.59. And in that same way that we kind of had this parabolic run up here to get to that $217, we kind of went into this area here, overbought just like we are now, and a slight pullback to exactly like we are right now. So that looks like it's gearing up for quite a similar kind of run. What we're going to have to do is we're going to have to check what's going on the 4 hourly, on the hourly as well, just to see if they are also coming to a consensus to say that we are going to be moving on up. As it stands at the moment, we are aiming for $330, and that's about 43.9% move to the upside. So let's jump down into that 4-hourly view, Chris, and see exactly what's going on there. I will just pull this to the side so you can see that those candles in a little bit more detail here, and we can see how we're pulling back down most recently. And we can see that we're no longer overbought on this RSI here, right? Well, we were overbought and we've pulled right back down. And we can see on this rally, every one of these kind of recent peaks, we were overbought. We had that kind of correction. We became overbought. We corrected and we're overbought again. So it's kind of like a rinse repeat scenario. We're going to see a lot of this on that way up towards that $330. So we're kind of calling off at the moment. I imagine a nice area to kind of back test on. It's going to be around the 220. But ideally you want to hit the 217 just to back test on the previous high, find that as support and then move on out from there. The volumes have also been decreasing quite nicely here. They were steadily increasing and now they started to decrease. That's helping to protect that price on that way down as our RSI gets corrected on this 4-hourly chart. So things here are not too bad. We're about 67 on that RSI. Volumes are okay. They're high. They're not, really low. They're quite high still, and they are decreasing on these candles, which is good. So let's go ahead and take a look at that hourly view. And again, we're getting a nice steeper correction here on the hourly, which is really fantastic to see, whilst we have that 50 moving average coming up here as well. So I think we're potentially going to get a bounce. And if we do get a bounce from that 50 moving average, we're not going to come down to the 217 level. Most likely end up around here, which would be 223. So $223 is probably the bouncing area. What it does, I'll mark that on. With a horizontal ray. I'm just going to pop that right about there. So that's probably the area that I'm going to be looking at. So here we have that 50 moving average moving up nicely. The 100 moving average and 200 moving average not too far behind. The volumes are obviously kind of now plateaued a bit. So that's probably the bottom area of the volume here. And yeah, things are looking quite interesting from a volume point of view. We were waiting for quite some time where the volumes just were not coming in, and now they're doing actually quite a good job at being predictable. So that's good to see. The RSI on this one's 49, just below that midway point. Lots of room to the upside there. So that's pretty good. So otherwise, yeah, I think we could have had a little bit of a deeper correction to 37.74, but it looks like we're actually getting a bit of a reversal here on the hourly, which means the 4-hourly is going to be reversing back up as well. And obviously the daily is going to be moving quite nicely to the upside. I would anticipate, Chris, that we're going to start seeing a lot more all-time highs get set as ultimately we keep going into price discovery mode with the 𝗕𝗏𝗏 coin. So if we go ahead and pull that back up into the daily view, obviously that $330 is 43% move to the upside. So we're going to be watching that quite closely, making sure that we can achieve that. Seems to be that this yellow line that I just pasted in here is the bouncing area that we're going to be watching out for. And after we've hit that 330, do expect maybe a bit of a call off, and then kind of heading up, Chris, to the $513 range, which comes in at about 124% move to the upside. So lots going on when it comes to Elrond and eGold. Obviously, the new app that's launched has been fantastic. Really easy to delegate your eGold through the application. And Chris, you were talking to me yesterday about airdrops.
Yeah, so there's an airdrop. So if you're on the app, for example, and delegating your eGold, then yeah, you're going to be partaking in an airdrop, which is always amazing because it's free crypto. So yeah, do check that out. A simple check on the Elrond website will sort of detail it, or even on Twitter. Just there's lots of people talking about it. I think it's MEX token.
Fantastic. So, guys, there's a lot going on here with Elrond. Lots of price discovery on the horizon. Now we've broken that all-time high. And we will be potentially, coming right back up into that $330. Now, one thing I am going to do on this chart is just mark out the gap that's being left behind, which currently sits in around here. So, in the same way that we did this with AGI, this is the gap that we probably want to be falling into. So our yellow line is just inside that box, but ultimately we'd like to see that bottom of the box get hit, or at least coming into this box a little bit clearer. So I'm going to leave that on there, see if that actually happens. It doesn't always happen. Sometimes you just leave those gaps behind. But yeah, we're doing well. We're going after $330, And yeah, 43% move. I can start to see that kind of happening now. We've broken that all-time high. The hourly looks in a pretty good spot. The 4-hourly looks in a good spot. And the daily RSI is lining up exactly in the same way that we saw it with the previous run, the parabolic run over here. So really excited to see how this one turns out, Chris, because I think things are looking pretty good for Elrond.
Yeah, definitely. So excited. It was great to see that news, Nick. And I think it's just, the beginning still. I still think there's so much more that's going to be happening.
Absolutely. So, guys, if you found this video useful, informative, hit that like button. We both really do appreciate it. And of course, if you're new to the channel and you want to learn more about those hidden gems and new cryptocurrencies, do consider subscribing to the channel. By subscribing, you will be kept up to date with absolutely everything we do here at Cheeky Crypto. It is free and you'll stay well informed. So why not? And with that being said, we hope everyone has a fantastic day and we'll catch you all in the next one.
Yeah, take care.